In today's video, we're going to be briefly touching on how to find out who the owner of a certain property is. So in this example, I'm just going to use a property in Court Gardens in Upminster. The easiest way just to find out the basics of a property, including the door number, is to visit Google Maps and type in the name of the road. Even if you don't know the actual address, you can always get some quick information here. So we can see number 41, and then if we go to this property, that's number 45. And if it was maybe this property that we were interested in, obviously that would be number 43. As you can see on Google Maps, it will also bring that information up. Another way that you can see the door number of a property, if it isn't particularly visible on the street view, if you just come out of here, and then if you zoom in on all of the properties in the map view feature, and there you can see number 43 and number 45 Court Gardens. So now you've established the address of the property. All you need to do now is go to the Land Registry website, where you can find out the ownership details of the property. So if you just go to Google, type in Land Registry, and that will bring these search options. You're going to be looking at the one to search for land and property. So click that option, and here you can see you're on the Land Registry website. And if we just scroll down, it actually gives you a summary of the type of information that will be available. So here we see that, and also there is more technical information such as restricted covenants. So for a property that's got a restrictive covenant, there will be specific restrictions on what you might be able to do on that plot of land or property. If we just scroll down now, when you're ready, you can just click Start Now, and that will take you to the next section of acquiring the title information. But just first, below that link, it gives you some further details about the cost. So here you can see if you want to just buy the title register, which will just give you the actual name of the property owner. You can buy that for £3. And if you also want, you can buy the title plan showing the exact boundary of the property. You can buy that as well for an additional fee of £3. So what you can do now, if we just select Start Now, it gives a few options of how you can acquire the title. So here you can search by postcode. So if we went back into Court Gardens and it was number 43, you can actually see the Google Maps will now bring up the full postal address there. So RM141DG. So we can either just type that in there, and then we can just see we've got the drop-down list of properties. So just to recap, it's number 43 Dane Court, and so we can choose that. And here it will actually bring up some previous details on the property here. So you can actually see the property last sold for £557,000 in October 2013. And if you still scroll down here, are the available documents is the information that you're going to be looking for. If you don't already have an account with Land Registry, you will have to create one the first time, where you just have to register email, secure password, and your personal details. And then you can continue to the terms of use and put in your payment details. Now, just in case you're not able to get the full postal address of the property, the Land Registry does actually give you additional options of how you can find out the ownership of a property. So specifically this one is quite useful where you do the search by map option. It will ask, do you know some of the address? So if we select yes in here, we could just select Upminster as the town, or if you do know the actual street name, type that, as we do not know the actual door number in that scenario. You could, for example, just select one of the properties there in Dean Court Gardens. And then again, it will show you the door numbers of the properties here. And that's another way that you can then see all of the additional property numbers that way. So if, for example, you wanted to select this property on the corner of Grosvenor Gardens, this would be this property here. If you then come out of this, you can see we've got Grosvenor Gardens there, and we've got the junction with Downcourt Gardens there. And it would be this property then, which would be 23 Downcourt Gardens. So this is just an alternative way that you can just use the map feature instead of having the full postal address of the property. And again, it's a very similar process afterwards. Just click and tick. And then if you just scroll there, you can see the property has been selected. And then it will also ask, is the land or property included in a radius search area? And it will say yes, then continue. We can see it's selected the correct property, which is 23 Downcourt Gardens. And again, as before, it will just give some previous data. And we can see here the property sold at 1.1 million in 2021. And now, again, when you have your own account logged in, it will then give you the option to choose the title register and the title plan. So when you've registered for Land Registry, if you'd follow the instructions I just showed, this would then be the next screen that you'd come to. So it will say available documents for. So you've got the title register and the title plan, and both of those are available to buy. Each document will cost £3 each. So if we continue, and then you can select which document. So for example, you might only be interested in the actual ownership details of the property, and you might not need to actually buy the title plan. So in that instance, you would just select the title register and continue. And here's just where you would put your card details. And then once you've put all of that information in, the title document will be emailed to you to review. Just briefly as well, just to show you, when you buy the title register and the title plan, if you go for both, here's an example of how the document actually looks. I've actually just redacted some of the sensitive information of the owners, just so that's not in the YouTube space. But to confirm, this is fully publicly available information, so anyone can actually obtain this if they choose to. And so at the top here, you'll have the title number, and then it will also give some other brief details about the ownership of the property. It will also tell you when the property was last purchased. So you can see here, this was October 2013. I've hidden the owner details and also the price paid. And also in this section, this is where it might reference things like restrictive covenants. As you can see, it's referred to there. But that's getting a bit more technical, so I'll actually do another video to discuss that. Finally, as well, this is what the title plan would look like for the property, which is pretty much like what we was looking at on Google Maps. But here you can see it's clearly identified with the red boundary of the overall plot. And at the top again, it would have shown the title number and OS survey map reference number. But again, for privacy purposes, I've hidden those. So that concludes today's video. Hopefully it was of assistance. Here's all of my contact details on screen if you wish to get in touch or have any questions. Thanks for watching.